Hi, greetings everyone. My name is Alifiyo R, and this occasion I would like to share my answers for assignment for the ACLL tutorial from chapter 2 to chapter 5. Starting from the chapter 2, here's the first question. Can you run the profile command on the hire date in the employee list? Run static command on the just hire date. So first of all, for the profile command, it is not available to run for the date field. In this case, it's hire date. Hire date is a date field, so it is not available for on the profile fields. Next is the statistic commands. Here's the statistic commands. As you can see, a screen capture of my desktop, and the results shown from the statistic could be useful to see for the hire date column. Obviously, the earliest hiring date, the 5 earliest hiring date, and the 5 latest hiring date. Also, it shows the average, which also could be useful as well. This number 2, quick sort the employee list on the bonus 2002 column. So for quick sort, there are two types. Here's the first one, is the ascending on the left side. So if you can see the 41.83 is on top, and on the descending one, 996.1.6092 on top. So there are two quick sorts, two sortings of the bonus 2002 column. And for the number 3 is similar. It's quick sort the agent's metaphor on the com 2002 column in ascending order, and then in descending order, and run statistics on and profile on this table as well. So here's the quick sort. On the left is the ascending, and descending on the right. Here's the analyzing. Might zoom in a bit. There you go. There's the analyze. Okay. Okay. And and then this is the profile. Pretty straightforward for that one. And then moving on to the number 4 is find the total commission paid to metaphor agent. So simply just find the amount of all the fields. So here's total commission paid to metaphor agent in 2002. As you can see on the left is the total value 91.471. Next, here's the last question for the chapter 2 exercise. Make the view easier to read by adjusting column width and dragging columns left or right. You can adjust the column at any time while you follow the tutorial. So simply just drag the lines between columns, or maybe double click it, or just drag to the preferences that you prefer. So next is the chapter 3. So for the first exercise is to save as the ACL file. I will include that in the submission later. And the next one is to verify a company debt data. Here's you can see it has been verified. There's none. There's zero data validity errors detected. So moving to the chapter 4, extracting records with new bulk value greater than 1000 to a new table for later analysis. So here, as you can see, I've done it. This is the new table called new val underscore 1000 up, and it only consists of, as you can see here, the lowest data is the new val data is at 1200 something, which obviously is greater than 1000. Number 2 is what is the difference between total number transaction and the number transaction with a new ball greater than 2000. So the number of transaction with new ball greater than 2000 here, as you can see on the count, After analyzing it and counting the fields, it's on the bottom left. Maybe you can see it, but no, maybe not as clear. But it's 53 out of 200 for because I counted from the credit card metaphor. However, if in the new ball 1000 up, it would be the same. It would be 53, but it would be out of, wait a minute, out of 65, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so that's for number two, and here's number three. Of the credit cards numbers that the new ball fairly greater than 2000, how many have past due amount greater than 0? So here again on the credit card metaphor table, uh, check the value, um, so that they are greater than 2000. Here you can see the filter, new ball is greater than 2000 and past due amount greater than 0. And as you can see on the bottom left again, the amount of the data in this table is 12. Number 4, check of card numbers with a 0 new balance value. Export this to text file. So it's pretty simple. Just do the filtering first and then export the data to a text. Here, as you can see on the bottom, is already in the notepad, so it's under txt format. And for the number 5, this is exactly the same. However, the export file is goes into the export files is as access Microsoft Access data. So here's on the left, on the right hand side. My right hand side is the access data, the access screen capture for the data. Okay, here's the new ball equal to 0, the access actually. Sorry. So number 6, total the Finch field. Also, how many credit card holders have a Finch value that is greater than, oops, than $10. So here's the total Finch. On the left hand side, as you can see, it has the total Finch is 3,872.2, while for the value is greater than $10. Um, you might can see it here, maybe not, but it's on the same. It's on the bottom left. It's 16 out of 200. It's number 7. Metaphor wants to know the total of all current balances in the credit card metaphor table. Total the new ball field as well. So here's the total of the new ball field. It's um, it's 286,315.79. Pretty straightforward on that one. And this is the last one for chapter 4. Is metaphor is considering reducing its upper credit limit. How many credit card numbers have credit limits exceeding 10,000? So here, as you can see, the filter credit limit above 1,000. There are two data, very easy to see, but to analyze it and make it clearer, it's on the bottom left, 2 out of 200. Alright, that's for chapter 4. Oh, sorry. Here's chapter 5. There's a typo there, sorry. So here's the first question: is total expenses for airfare, hotel stays, and rental car. First of all, is the airfare. With the airfare, the code is between 3,000 and 3,261. So here's the amount. The amount of the airfare expense is 21,692.1. And then for the hotel stays, it's between 3,507 and 3,750. As you can see here as well, the process is similar. Um, Here's the total stay expense is 23,443.52, and rental cars is between 3,352 and 3,427, and the total for the expense is 2,112.65. Okay, uh, number two. So there you go. Those are the separate expenses, and here's the total expense for all British Airways flights. It's very simple. I did like quick filter, or yeah, quick filter, and then on the British Airways, so it's only, you don't have to uh, do with the coding and stuff, but just quick filter it, and then it shows the total amount of data for British Airways flights. There are only two, and total expenses for those flights are is 672.93. Okay, number three is very similar to the first one. Total food related expenses. How much money did the company spend on restaurant, fast food restaurant, and catering, both separately and together? So first is the fast food. The process is similar to the British Airways, so because the title for the fast food restaurant is just fast food. Just quick filter again. There are five data for the fast food, and the total amount of expense for the fast food is 1,664.23. Next is the eating places and restaurant. Same process as well, but there are 16 data for this one, and the total expense amount for this one is 7,626.05. Lastly is catering. Um, Same process again, 22 data on this one, and the total expense for catering is 9,023.74. All in all, the total expense for um, company spend on restaurants, fast food restaurant, and catering is um, 18,314.02. So number four is using match to find transaction build two internal. I'm sorry, there's a typo again. Departments Internal departments have customer number that begin with zero. So here's the first one is using match to find transaction build to internal department. So after conducting the match filter, um, the total amount for a transaction bill to internal customer is 44,629.11. Meanwhile, for the internal departments have a number greater, uh, have customer numbers that begin with zero. Um, the total amount is 95,060.24. So just keep that number, keep this number in mind. The 44,000 to match the the amount of transaction for a bill to internal departments, because we need it to find then to answer the number five question. Determine what percentage of the total transaction amount is billed to internal departments and what percentage is billed to external clients. Okay, so first we need to figure out the total fields first. Here's the total fields. The total amount is 139,689.35. And for um, the calculation is here. It's the 44,629.11 over the total times 100. It's 31.9, but I would like to round it to 32% because it's very close. And that's for the internal department, built to internal department. While for the external department, it's 68%. Yes, yes, it is 68%. So that's for the first part of the chapter 5 exercise questions. And here's this part 2. Use classify command to create a table that lists the total transactions on a per customer number basis. So here's, I've done it obviously. The table name is team underscore April underscore by underscore cust number. Similar to what in the tutorial, what it's for CNN, and this one is for cust number. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward, I guess. So that's all for the ACL exercise from chapter 2 until chapter 5. Thank you so much for watching, and that's my time.